Yo, welcome. Don't mind my hair. I just showered. Well, not just. It's been a couple hours, but I'm not very good at drying my hair. Today. Actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Give me a moment. You know what? I'm gonna give you my opinion on something. Alright? So, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos around talking about Season 5 of Stranger Things. Now, I'm not the kind of person that gives my opinion on stuff a lot. But I have no idea what else to upload. I'm getting kind of... Is burnt out the word I can use? No, not really. I guess stressed. Because I don't feel like with the school days, and as the days go by, I feel like I don't have enough time to upload multiple times a day or do something. So I stick to short videos or sometimes even long videos. And I would like to do a long playthrough of something. I can't do that because then I'm going to be called and interrupted, and I don't want y'all to deal with that, you know? Because then I'll be leaving every 5 seconds. So instead, let me tell you my opinions on a show. Now, I am an OG when it comes to Stranger Things. I watched it when its first season ever came out. The first full season. Pretty good. But season 5, I agree with a lot of people, which the ending was not that good. But I wouldn't call it the worst season. To be fair, I wouldn't call any season bad because they're watchable. All seasons are watchable. Some are more better than others. I'll give them that. Some seasons are better than others, but I don't necessarily hate season 5, but I don't necessarily love it either. For the people who like it, I understand why you like it. It's pretty interesting. I don't think the ending was done right. I feel... Now, full disclaimer. If you have not watched season 5, spoilers. I feel that the season... Something as a creator you do not want to hear is what I'm about to say right now. The end of season 1 was a better ending to the Stranger Things series than the actual finale was. That's not saying a lot, but every other season before season 5, their endings are so much more better than the ending of season 5. Their endings are much more better. Finales, much better story-wise, much better everything-wise. Look at season 1. In season 1, what happens at the end of season 1? Elle disappears into the Upside Down. Demogorgons, dead. The government chasing after 11, gone. Papa, dead. Mike is okay. Will is found? ? I don't think he's actually found until... No, he is found and saved in season 1. Or is it season 2? It's been a while since I watched the show. But I'm assuming he's saved by that point. He's been found. That's the perfect ending. Everyone lives happily ever after. There are no more Demogorgons. The government's dead and deceased. Else in the Upside Down, probably killing Demogorgons one by one, making sure they don't end up in the overworld, and closing portals while in there. You see how, how better that is story-wise? Will is found. Everything goes back to normal. The main villain for that season, the Demogorgon, gets killed. The other main villain of that season, the Papa, or whatever he's called, I don't know his actual name. I just remember that Elle calls him Papa, guy with the white hair who tortures her, dies. The government soldiers chasing her down dies. Elle disappears, never to be seen again. That is the perfect ending. Let's go on to the next season, season 2. Season 2. Demodogs. I forget what happens at the... Yeah, season 2. At the end of season 2, Elle comes back. The Demodogs are defeated. Will is released from the hive mind or whatever. Everyone lives happily ever after. The main government dude still dead. No one chasing, well, people are chasing after Elle now, but they don't seem to know where she is or can find her. What else? A new member to the team is added. What else happens to season 2? Because some of season 2 is forgotten. We found out there's more kids with abilities other than just Elle. Perfect ending. Perfect ending all around. Season 3. The Mind Flayer. At the end of the season, the new team member shows what they're capable of. Somewhere near the season. Now, again, this is my own opinion. The Mind Flayer, made out of, like, rats. Out of, like, rats or flies or something. I forget what it's made out of. But made out of something. Defeated. Killed. The big bad boss. The Mind Flayer. Controlling all those rats. Killed. At the end of that season. By technicality, it's not the Mind Flayer, sure. But they still kill it. The Mind Flayer is still controlling that creature. Made out of rats, or whatever it was. Made out of wind, gusts, or something like that. I forget what they did. Not the point. They won against the big boss back in season 3. Season 4. Hopper dies. The last known portal that anyone knows about was opened and closed. Opened by the Russians. Closed by Elle. Hopper's presumed dead. Dustin apparently has a girlfriend. What else? Will is more a part of this. We get Murray. Actually, I don't know when Murray gets added as a team member. I just know he is. Basically, my point being, the earlier seasons, the better the endings. Especially for season 4. Hopper dies. Elle gets to live happily ever after. The government is no longer after her, or at least seems to not be interested in chasing her anymore. The Russians the last known portal that we, at least as an audience, know before season 5 is in Russia and has been closed. I feel like the endings of each and every season had more thought put into it than season 5. Because while I like season 5, I'm gonna pull my hair out is what I'm gonna do. One, unnecessary characters. Dustin's mentor, well, yes, he did help find Dustin, didn't need to be there for the government, for them rushing into the government facility and then through the upside down portal. 2, most of the characters I've already forgotten. This is another thing some YouTubers pointed at. One YouTuber I think I saw pointed out where it's like, well, I didn't even know that was Mike's mom when she walked in and the demo dogs were already like, you know, burnt to a crisp. I saw that blonde person and my first thought wasn't, oh, that's Mike's mom. No, that's Eleven's mom. She's finally out of that coma. Never mind. Finally, never mind. Honestly, that would have been better, though. That would have been way better. Just a lot of people join the team, and it's unnecessary. It really is. While some of the new characters that join the team, while I do like them, they don't need to be there, alright? I think the only person that actually did a good job at playing their character was Murray. To be fair, though, that's because I have bias. He's always been my favorite character. But there was no need. There was, and my question is, what were they expecting? What were they expecting? So, this was their plan. They drive through a government facility. Every soldier out there sees them, watches them just drive on by. They not only fire at them, but chase them down. Their plan ends up working. And instead of preparing, instead of being like, okay, well, the government will wait on us. Because what were they expecting? Oh, they just end up on the other side of the portal and the government's like, mama, hug it. Put your weapons down, gentlemen. Put your weapons down, gentlemen. They're one of us. Like, what were they expecting? You're telling me they were just expecting the government to be like, let's say that the teacher and Luke's sister weren't found out. Let's say they never found their secret base. How were they planning to get out without being gunned down, chased down by the government, their tires being shot at, military vehicles chasing them down? What were they expecting? Even if everything they did went according to plan and all of the soldiers were asleep throughout all of that, it is such a dumb idea. They had no precautions whatsoever if they were, 1, found out. 2, if the government was like, okay, lay down the spike traps, prepare the guns, prepare the EMPs, take them down. Like, what? You're telling me they went into a government base, a heavily armed, protected government base, and they didn't have a plan to leave. What were they expecting? It's like, they should have just ended this at season 4. They should have just ended the series at season 4. There is no need. There is no need. Why? For what purpose? For what reason? For what anything? Because, remember, they didn't plan for being caught. What? Did they think they were going up against the Russians? How? Did they not have a precaution? Like, I know how people like question why they weren't arrested, or why they weren't silenced or anything by the government, and they were just let go after that. That's not my question. My question is, what was their plan? Because there is no shot they just thought they would go in and go out without any problems. And here's another thing. Not everyone should have gone. Not everyone should have gone. Some people should have stayed. If they were all caught, what then? What next? You know? I can't. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Why bring... I need water. I need water. I'm gonna... I'm empty. I'll pick that up later. Tell me. What was the plan? Because they had no plan whatsoever if the government ever decided to just stop them. And my problem is, right, one, season 5's ending was mediocre compared to the endings of every other season that has ever been released by Stranger Things. By the series, the season finale for All I Care. The season finale for All I Care is the season when Hopper dies. It's either that or season 1. That's just my own personal opinion. Because you gotta understand, right? How dumb were they? Because I feel like I'm broken record at this point. I just can't fathom, right? And there's another thing, right? Hawkins is a small town. Because it's a really small town from the way they talk about it and the way they speak, which is why they were able to be overrun by the government immediately without any hesitation. Even if none of Hawkins' citizens were a part of the government, they would probably still be outnumbered by government's guns and such like that, right? My question, right, is how does a small town not notice a kid goes missing, found dead. Couple weeks later, he's found alive and well. They never explain what happens to him, not from my knowledge. 2, people start going missing, acting weird. Rats start acting weird. Rats start appearing more and more and more and more without any explanation whatsoever for a random kid who no one knows about, is being looked for from the government. The government, because in season 1, they did not hide the fact that they were looking for Elle. They asked any and everyone, and they were not afraid to kill anyone who knew of her or has seen her. So they weren't afraid to question people about her. But people never questioned them. A local sheriff ends up falling through the ground, dying, coming back. No longer a sheriff, probably. By that point, I don't know when he stops being a sheriff. I just know it's somewhere around season 2. Tell me. And they don't question why their kids are being taken by government vans to a place without them telling them where and why. Just saying that their kids are going to be taken to a government facility to keep safe. And no one questions it. Because again, from what Hawkins is described, it's a small town. Not a big town, a small town. From what I remember and from the way it is described, it is more... What's a small town that I can, base this off of? It's... I guess... No, that's too big of a comparison. It's more of a county than anything. It's more of a small village, right? Especially from the way they describe it. Now, I could have missed something. Maybe somewhere throughout the seasons, Hawkins becomes more populated and has more people that I do not know. That's not the point. My point being, how did the previous seasons have more thought put into them than season 5? Because in season 5, Max comes back, does absolutely nothing in a wheelchair for the rest of the season. At that point, I don't even know why they brought her back. I don't. Other than just to be like, hey, look, guys, Max is fine. There's no need for y'all to cry. There's no need for y'all to riot. No, I'm fully out of water. There's no need for y'all to scream at us. Max is fine and alive. Rip my hair out. My hair out. Will now has superpowers for some weird reason because Vecna gave them to him. But Vecna can't control what he does because that's it. That's it. Because by technicality, Vecna should be able to control him, no? Also, actually, no, I'm not going to put any hate on that scene. I know people hate the coming out scene mostly because it takes too long. Yeah, no, it should have been as simple as I'm, and then like that. It's that, before someone says, well, it's not that easy, is it? Because let's not forget the fact that this team was, one, able to accept a person that can use telekinesis with her mind and move things with her mind, which, by the way, for those who don't know what telekinesis is, it's being able to move things with your mind. Without calling her a freak. Well, okay, they only do it once. Other than that, no shame is thrown on her. If Will had to worry about something like coming out, he should have just looking at how the guys reacted, or like the people in general, a part of the party, acted towards her to see whether he should be afraid or not. Because while yes, there's a difference between being gay and being a freak. I'm gonna be honest though, I feel like a freak would be hated more than a gay. Because again, this is the 1930s or 80s or something like that. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if that existed or not. Was gender... I'm not going to say the actual word because inequality, the opposite of equality, still existed. Where, like, males more of a, like, back in the olden days. I don't remember if that was the case. Again, I don't know how the 1930s worked. They let Luke be a part of their team without spreading any hate towards them or any, like, discriminatory words, wrongful words at him, right? Now, to be fair, I don't know what it was like to live in the 1980s. Maybe it was a lot more different. Maybe people of... the community, I'm not saying all those letters because then I'm gonna be like screamed at for forgetting one. Of the community of people who are, I'll just say it, the LGBTQ plus community hated more than blacks and African Americans. Don't scream at me. African Americans and, how do I say this without sounding like a horrible person? Females. Women, just in case anyone's like, oh, he said female. That means he hates women. I don't know why people assume that. Anywho, not the point. Stay focused. Not the point. Still, they accepted someone who can use telekinesis. Which, by the way, I feel like someone with superpowers would have been hated way more back in the 1980s. Look at the X-Men. Like, well, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe people with superpowers weren't hated. At least if those people existed, they wouldn't hate... humanity wouldn't hate them, but... I don't know. I mean... Actually, the team knew about Robin. Actually, I don't know if the team knew about Robin. Maybe they did or not. What is she, a lesbian or bi? Because I don't want to get it wrong. I think it's lesbian or bi. I don't know which one. It's been 5 years since I watched the show. I watched season 5 like a couple days ago. I'm not rewatching the whole entire thing to catch up on the lore. Who does that? What kind of psychopath does that? Give me like 5 minutes. No, I'm not gonna do that. Not now. If I feel like binge watching, then yes, but not now. Not now. Not ever. I need a break. Okay, I need a break because season 5 is just... because season 5 is watchable. I like the season. I could see why people like it, but I could also see why people hate it. I'm one of those that just thinks it's watchable. As long as you don't question everything, as long as you don't look at everything with logic, you should be fine. I mean, hey, that's how the world works. You choose to believe what you want to believe. Because I have a lot of grievances with season 5. Because it massacred a lot of characters. Well, not massacred. did them terribly, I guess. Max did absolutely nothing throughout the whole entire show, other than help Holly escape, which even then it amounted to nothing. Not a silch air. Like, Max helping Holly out did absolutely. You could watch the whole entire season and skip the part where Holly escapes Vecna and nothing changes. Nothing changes. And before you say, well, by technicality, if it weren't for Holly falling from the sky, they wouldn't know where the abyss is. They could have found that out themselves without Holly. They would have figured out, for one, she's nowhere near the upside down. Two, that the upside down is a wormhole. They would have figured that out anyways because Nancy decided to use a shotgun against a big ball of light. They would have found out immediately, even without Holly escaping. Like, nothing changes. Nothing changes. You could just skip the fact that that Max was in Vecna's mind. You could skip all the episodes or like all the parts where Holly and Max are in Vecna's mind. And nothing changes. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Like, oh, the only thing that does change is the way that Max woke up. Oh, she just woke up. That's it. They were playing a song, and that's how they were playing her favorite song, and that's how she woke up from her coma. That's all that changes. That's the only thing that changes. You could skip everything else except Max escaping Vecna's mind, and nothing changes. You could record the part of the season where she first tries to escape Vecna's mind, and then combine that with her waking up from a coma before Vecna catches her or the portal to the outside world closes, and no one would notice that they were different, that it happened in not just different episodes, but the fact that that she escaped with Holly. What? No, don't curse. It's fine. No, I'm not fine. Cause, tell me this. Come closer. Come closer. Why are we blaming the Mind Flayer and saying that Vecna was innocent throughout all of this, following orders, when we know he did most of the things he did by choice? That's all. No, but tell me why. Will's like, you didn't choose to do this. He's making you do this. Henry, please, you don't have to give in. You're not a monster. This and Henry being the villain that he is. Instead, it was like, he showed me the way. Will was like, Henry, don't fall for it. Henry, don't follow him. Brother, he's far too gone, even if he was good. If we were to put out some small chance that he was good inside, he's too far gone. He's too far gone. He's too deep into the plan just to back out now. You know? If you're gonna do something and you're already close to finishing it, why not just finish it? Will, this guy killed 5 10 children for power, which I don't think was the Mind Flayers doing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just from one person to another. I don't think that was the Mind Flayers' plan. I'm just saying. At least with Elle, she doesn't know. She does not know. Will does. He can see into Vecna's mind. Elle can't. Elle's like, I know that they tortured you, but you don't have to be this way. Because Elle doesn't know. Will does. Because he can, 1, see into his mind. 2, he's attached to the hive mind. 3, he can feel whatever pain Memory Henry somehow, for some, I don't know how, reason, he can feel the pain of Memory Henry. Not Vecna in real life. No. Memory Henry. You know how you have a memory? There's a difference between Vecna and Memory Henry. Memory Henry is just the kid that walks up to the suitcase. The suitcase, opens it. That's Memory Henry. And he could feel his pain. How the... does that make sense? I'm this close. I'm uncomfortable. I've moved so much. I'm laying down now because, no, actually no. There we go. Tell me, how they were planning any and all of this? Because you gotta explain to me why they're so dumb. Like, I would forgive the end of the season, right? If they had some good answers, or at least put some like passion into it. Not if they at least, poured everything out of their heart. It could be as bad in my opinion, right now. In my humble opinion, I would rather have someone pour all of their heart onto something and it be bad, and then not try and it be bad. Because you could at least feel. I'm standing up. I'm done with this. You could at least deal with that, right? You could deal with that. You could feel the inspiration. You can feel the joy. You can feel the way the actors are, right? But it's not like that. The only actor that does somewhat good, in my opinion, is Murray. Because he's the only character I care about. But it's like, at the same time, Murray, it's not the best time. Why the would you give someone a ring and be like, go get her, champ? Brother, she just lost her little sister. Oh, well, not like that could make her mood any worse. Murray, this isn't... I don't know who wrote you, but why? Why? Like, that's the only time I genuinely did not like him. Because it's like, Murray, show some sympathy at least. Why are you going out of your way to be like, have this? What is this? It's a gift from my Mima. A ring? Yes, it's a ring. Propose to her. Her sister just got kidnapped. Hey, go get her, champ. Because this couldn't make her mood any worse. Murray, I swear, I'm this close, Murray. Why? Like, I get, like, yeah, the scene where that happens, yeah, that's great and all. I like that scene. But at the same time, that is just so insensitive. But at the same time, you know what? Murray is always insensitive, so, you know, I'll give him that. He's always been like that. He's always been that way. You know, the first thing he said to both, was it Nancy and Jonathan, or was it Hopper and Jonathan's mom? I forget her name. Where it's like, when are you guys gonna... Murray, read the room. Actually, no, he did. He did read the room, and he knew exactly what was happening. He knew. That's not the point. That's not the point. Stay focused. Don't let the anger consume you. Amen. Explain to me how they planned any of this. Because nothing, right? At least with these other seasons, they put something. They just put nothing into season 5. I think the only actors that are trying their absolute best are Murray, Dustin, Steve, Jonathan, and maybe Nancy, ? Because with Murray, he's trying, with Murray's actor, I feel like he's actually trying his best to like, lighten up the mood and be a good actor. With Dustin's actor, he also seems to be trying his best to play the role of his character the best he can with what he was given. And honestly, if anyone else was playing Dustin, I would have found him annoying in season 5. But since his actor, I don't know his actor's name, whoever his actor was, did an actually really good job at playing as Dustin during that season. Because I actually felt like he was doing his best at playing that kind of role. Because it's very different from how he played Dustin back then. Dustin used to be more different, less edgy, less of an a-hole. But, you know, you live, you learn, I guess. He actually feels a lot more different, and that his actor feels like he's actually trying. Same with Jonathan. He seems to, with Jonathan's actor, he seems to be trying, at least. And he's good. I actually saw tears roll down the actor's eyes during the proposal scene. So he's at least somewhat attached to the character. Same as the actor of Dustin. Ooh, they do really good jobs at establishing their characters and fitting their characters. Same with the character of the actor of Nancy. When the actor of Nancy did actually make it seem like she was worried for her sister. Now whether I like the fact that she was being a bit moody, no, not really, but, you know, you get what you get, I guess. We can't have our cake and eat it too, right? But it's like, I feel like most of the actors are doing their best. When it comes to Elle's actor, Eleven's actor, I don't think she's trying her best. I don't see, like, to be fair, it's hard to tell. Because with Elle as a character, she shows barely any emotion anymore. Especially, like, after season 2. She's just always either angry or grumpy and nothing else. I feel like Kari had more emotion in season 2 and 5 than Elle has had in the past couple of seasons. That could just be me, but I genuinely feel that way. I genuinely feel like Elle as a character has gotten less and less character, I guess you can say. Like, if you're gonna write a character, have them have a consistent personality unless a certain situation happens. If something certainly happens, then their mood and personality should be different. For an example, if you're gonna write a character that's not paranoid and happy all the time, make them go through something that makes them more of a paranoid person. Less of a happy person, less of an angry person, less of a grumpy person, you know? But other than that, keep your characters as consistent in personality as you can. And they did that well with Dustin, because they were able to keep the way he is, but made him act differently. Because of Eddie's death, he's been more and more grumpy, but he still has that soft and kind side to him. We see that more towards the end of season 5, but at least we see something. At least he has a reason to act the way he acts, right? And in the early seasons, Jonathan is more of a grumpy and less emotional person, and as the seasons go by, he becomes more happier and much more of a better person, and that's because he finally has his brother back. Most of his grief came from losing his brother and no longer having a brother. And now as the seasons go on and on and on, as the seasons went on, he became more emotional and less distant, while still being the same person. I feel that while season 5 was bad, I'm glad that it ended. I'm glad the series is over, because that means Netflix can't milk it anymore. However, I'm also sad, because I don't know if we'll ever see the actors play in something other than Stranger Things. It's like Tom Holland, right? He's never seen in any other role other than Spider-Man. And once whoever owns Spider-Man now decides to replace him, we probably won't see him ever again. He's not like... I think in any other movie he's in, those movies perform very horribly. Especially when it comes to like Uncharted and other stuff like that. I feel like I'll be, for one, sad that we won't be able to see the actors again. Or if we do, the stuff they're a part of won't be as famous, or will be dragged down because of the actor or actress. I just hope to see the actors in other roles. I would like to see Murray's, Dustin's, and Jonathan's actors in something else other than Stranger Things. Because they do seem like good actors. They seem like they could do something. Same with every other actor. I hope that they find another show or a movie to be a part of, so we can see their talent. So we can see their talent shimmer. We can see them light up like the sun, basically. I hope that we can see the actors and actresses in more stuff and see what they're capable of, and see what they can and can't do. I hope that they're involved in more shows and more movies, so they can grow past just the characters are known as. Instead of being known as just the actors that played in Stranger Things, are gonna be known as their actors' names. Instead of Jonathan's actor being known as Jonathan, he'll be known as, I don't know what his actual actor's name is. You think I do research? Same with Dustin's, Murray's, Nancy's, Robin's, Elle, Will, Mike, Luke, all their Max, all the other actors and actresses, I hope that they find somewhere else other than just Stranger Things, because they seem like good actors. They seem like they're trying their best. They seem like they're really good at playing their characters. And I would like to see what other future projects they will be a part of. And I'd also like to see what's in store for their future, as I, for one, hope that their career can grow past just the people who acted in Stranger Things, you know? Other than that, though, yeah, that's my opinion on Season 5. I hope y'all enjoyed. If there's anything y'all agree with me or disagree with me, please comment below. That is, of course, if I have... I wonder, actually, one final question before I end this video. Are y'all... What are y'all's ages? I just want to know what my target demographic is, if I have one to begin with. Because, again, I have barely any viewers. Barely any... one subscriber so far. I'm making this too much about myself. But I do question, what are y'all? Are y'all like, nah, well, I don't have enough. I'm not famous enough for that kind of question. Oh, well, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.